I'm underground.
Why is this a story?
First of all, you have to have the backstory.
You're so rich.
If there's going to be more details that come out, but homegirl faked that shit.
Hello.
Hi.
And welcome back to another episode of Break Room Banter.
It is a Hairstyles Adjacent podcast where each week
two friends
who also happen to be hairstylists
break down our weeks in the break room. I'm your host, Hunter Walden.
And I am your hostess, Erica the Red.
And this week we have yet another just riveting episode for you. We are going to talk about CARLEE Russell, some whales dying, Gigi Hadid getting arrested, and Erica was sadly misinformed.
And yeah, conspiracy theory that really got me that turned out to be a fake. Surprise.
But before we do that, how was your week?
It was good. Well, it's been an interesting week because I was sick last week. I lost my voice.
Thank God we didn't have to record.
So glad, right? I lost my voice. One of our coworkers was sick, and they came in and they were like, "Don't worry, I'm on antibiotics. Everything's fine. Like, I'm good." And then I got sick, but I didn't have a fever. And I have kind of worked like 3 and 4 days the last couple of weeks because with having Deacon there and, you know, more money out and less money in makes it tricky. So needless to say, my wallet could not afford for me to be sick. So I was in full-blown denial of the fact that I was sick. And then another one of our coworkers got sick. And when she went to the doctor, it turns out she had the same thing that the other person had, which has to be what I had. But I'm better now. My voice is back. And Slightly. It is a little raspy.
A little crusty.
It's my sexy phlegm voice. Smelly cat. No, just kidding. But the big deal this week is that Deacon went home this morning. Very early. We had to be at the airport at 5. We didn't make it until about 5:30. Surprise, surprise. But the story that I have been avoiding telling you all day is this. So last night we're getting Deacon's stuff ready to go. And if you don't know, I don't have a washer and dryer in my apartment. It's
like a unit.
It's like a unit, a laundry room where you have to go and pay. So Deacon's 14. He can do his own laundry. So I sent her over. I was like, go take your laundry over. And he was like, all right, cool. You know, and like, he had earned his TV privileges back, so I was letting him play some video games. He was talking to some friends online or whatever, and I was just kind of went upstairs, did my own thing, was getting my own stuff together to, like, be ready to do my laundry and just make sure that I had all the small things, the important things that needed to make it home with him. So then a couple hours later, and I had gone and got stuff for dinner and stuff, but he wasn't super hungry. So I was like, we can just kind of have a late dinner. That's fine. Like, just let me know when you're hungry. And then I come downstairs and it was late, like 10 o'clock probably. And I was like, okay, well, I'm fine with you staying up because you have this long flight. Like, you can just sleep on the flight. You know, it's your last night. I'm not going to force you to go to bed. You just got to promise me you're not going to be a jerk when I wake you up. And he promised. So I was like, all right, cool. So I come downstairs. I'm like, dude, where's your laundry at? You need to get your bag packed up. And he's like, oh, I forgot. I'm so sorry. And he runs over and he comes back with like an arm load full of clothes. And I'm like, where's the rest of your clothes? And he's like, I don't know. They're gone. And I'm like, they're not gone. You probably just didn't look hard enough. Right? I'm like, okay, come on, let's go over there. So I go over there with him. And I'm like, looking in the dryers. for these clothes and I can't find the clothes. And he's like, Mom, they're gone. I'm like, they're not gone. People don't steal laundry. Like, and then I open the last dryer and I'm like, you know how I know people don't steal laundry? Because this is my load of towels that I left in here a week and a half ago that I completely forgot was over here. That's how I know, you know? And then he goes, oh, look, here's one of my socks. And it was over on like the folding table where you can like fold laundry, and it was dry. And that was the other thing is I was like, and he's like, no, Mom, it was in here in the washing machine, which means he went into the washing machine, realized his load was missing, put the other load in the dryer, and never said anything to me.
Okay, I'm
So I'm
following.
like, okay. So then I'm like looking through the loads that are in there, and there is a load with clothes that has like size 34 pants. So I'm like, somebody probably thought that this was their laundry or their son's laundry or whatever, you know? And basically all like 12 out of the 14 shirts he had, every pair of socks, 4 or 5 pairs of boxers, and a bunch of my towels gone. Like straight up gone. And included in it was his like shirt from theater camp that he was super pumped about. So he was like so sad, and he's like pissed off, and I'm like, buddy, it's okay. I've grabbed someone else's load before. You bring it back. Like, it's going to be fine. I'll send an email. We're going to get it fixed. He's like, I'm not going to see my clothes for another year, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're going to be fine. The worst case scenario, you'll have them by the end of the week next week. It's going to be okay, right? And he just, needless to say, was very, very, very upset about it. And something that's kind of foreign to me is teenage boy rage. I just don't comprehend it
I've
very
heard you
much.
saying that all day today and hearing other people say, like, oh, yeah, whenever my teen.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever being, like, angry.
Yeah, I don't know, like,
But I also feel like because I grew up in, like, deep south, my mama turned her ring backwards and
right,
smacked me upside the mouth and bust my
pop
lip
ya,
open.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think that it just, I mean, he is a boy and he is a teenager, and like emotions run high. Who am I to judge? But I'm just saying, like like teenage girls, we roll our eyes and we make snarky comments and we go and talk shit about you. Like we're not like, ugh, and angry. It's different. So, and I didn't really have, like, my little brother is younger than me. So, like, by the time he was raging and hormonal, I was off doing my own thing and definitely not paying attention. So it's just a foreign concept to me where I'm like, dude, you don't even know if it's gone yet. Like, why are you freaking out, So it was just definitely like a mix match of thought processes, we'll say, where I just was like, dude, what did I say to him? I was like, I'm confused because this is a level 75 reaction when the problem is maximum level 10. And we don't even know if it's level 10, in my mind, at least. That's
Right.
how it
Well,
was.
honestly, you don't even know if it is a problem.
Exactly. We don't know. We'll find out. But,
Mm-hmm.
and again, I understand being emotional, obviously. But, like, it's the anger part that I don't get. I'm kind of quicker to cry about something than rage about it,
Right.
So I don't know. It just was like, as a mom and as a woman, I was like, I don't get what's happening.
What the
Like,
heck?
I don't get what's happening right now. I don't understand why you're freaking out so much. In retrospect, looking back, I'm like, I get it. He was upset. There was probably so many other emotions with other things that were unrelated that just happened to come out in that.
Right.
Everything was fine. He calmed down. I got him to bed. Everything was okay. We wake up in the morning. He actually was really good about getting up right when he needed to get up. We got to the airport. Everything was fine. And then we get to the airport, and there's only one Alaska counter in Nashville. And it used to be all the way at the far, 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 far end of, like, the ticketing level, if you've been to BNA. Well, they're remodeling, and it's not there anymore.
They're remodeling again?
Yeah, so they've, like, moved some of the counters around. Like, they're not where they used to be. Like, the signs are all
Mixed matched
under
and
construction or whatever. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, so I have to like ask this officer. And then he's like, Mom, are we going to make it? And I'm like, I don't know, honey. That line's kind of long. Like, stand in line right here. And I'm going to try and check your bag and see if, but because he's unaccompanied, I've got to go through security with him, all this stuff. So I'm like, you stand in line. I'm going to see if I can get your boarding pass here. Whatever. It didn't work. He didn't stay in line. And I was like, this is why I wanted you to stay in line, because like we could be 10 people ahead or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm irritated a little bit, and like not irritated, but like short, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll say.
Like, I told you to do this and you didn't do it.
Like, why do you insist on not listening to me? You know? And then he's moody, I'm moody. We ended up making it through and everything was fine. But we finally get up to the freaking ticketing counter and I get him checked in. Their boarding pass printer thing is not working. So they have to handwrite me a security gate pass. Meanwhile, my clear lapsed. And so I didn't have clear, so we had to go through like the regular security line, which was fine. It was moving quickly enough. There's the security gate at BNA.
It's actually gotten
huge,
so much better.
It is really pretty darn efficient. You know?
Did you fly like with the old security ever?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. It used to be terrible.
Really? Yeah. Well, and then this is the first time because I had to go through regular security. They had like drug dogs, you know? And on the way over here, Deacon checked a bag because he was on Southwest. And so he had like his backpack and then all his clothes in the one bag. Well, he had less clothes to go home with. So I just put them all in the backpack so I didn't have to pay $75 for the escort, $75 for the bag. You know, I was like,
$75 for a bag?
yeah. Because I got the like saver ticket or whatever, you know, the lowest level price one.
Oh, okay.
So it was what it was. We made it through. Everything was fine. It was all good, but it just was like nothing could go our way. Like it couldn't have gotten any more frustrating. And I was just trying to like, meanwhile, I slept like 2 hours, you know. And I originally was planning on not going to sleep so that I didn't oversleep because we know I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so the lady at the ticket counter, she was like, oh, it's not working. Guess you can't go. I said, oh, guess you guys are paying for his replacement ticket.
You were like, I am not ready for games right now.
You are not funny, bitch. Like, that's not even cool. But yeah, we made it. Everything was good. He made it home.
Did he just basically walk on the plane?
Pretty much. Like, we walked up. I was like, and that was the other thing. She was like, I can just text it to you. And I was like, well, he doesn't have a phone. Like, obviously, I'm going through with him. That will work for now. But, like, we need a paper copy.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, oh, you can just get it from the kiosk. Well, I go to the kiosk, and it's like, unfortunately, we cannot provide you with your boarding pass right now. Please see a ticketing agent. I'm like,
the ticketing agent told me to see the kiosk.
Sucks. Yeah. And so we make it through. We get in there. I don't remember what happened, but Deacon got pissed off at me. So he like walks ahead of me. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. You know? And I can see him the whole way. He's like, I can see him turning around, making sure I can still see him, you know. But we get there, and I'm like, okay, he needs a paper boarding pass. And then pretty much right then and there, they put him on the plane. I still have to wait until the plane takes off, just in case anything happens. But it worked out. It was fine. We were both moody and cranky this morning, and which sucks because that was like our last few hours together when 98% of our trip was like phenomenal and awesome.
Yeah.
And I just hate that that's how it ended. But like at the same time, I'm like, I'm not perfect, bro. Sorry.
Yeah.
And a lot of this was out of our control, you know?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I mean, I think everything's fine, but that was the fiasco. Hunter and I avoided each other all day, and I was like,
it's been difficult.
Whispering, talking to my clients about this story.
I've actually caught bits and pieces of it, but none of it made sense to me because I only caught bits and pieces of it.
Right.
So I was like, lost a shirt. Okay. Were they late? Did he have to get on a different flight? Is he still here?
No.
I was like, there were so many scenarios that I've been running through my head all day. I was like, for sure he's still here.
No.
Like, he did not get on the plane.
He
and then
made it.
I heard you talking to your mom, I guess,
Yeah.
and he had made it. But I thought that was funny.
Yeah. It's all good. I know. And then my mom called me, and I'm like, Hunter's standing right here. I can't tell you what happened.
Because she knew.
Well, she was like, how was your thing? Or no, how'd it go? And I was like, it went. He made it. He got on the plane. Like, there's always something at the end, like me and morning flights aren't the best, but
It seems like those are the only flights you can get them on.
they're cheaper.
Oh.
They're cheaper, and there is regulations because he is an unaccompanied minor. Like, they can't be on the first flight, they can't be on the last flight. And then those, like, between, like, 12 and 4 o'clock, those flights cost more because people would rather leave in the afternoon than at the butt crack of
Clearly.
booty dawn, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, everything's fine. It all worked out. He made it home safe. He called me and let me know he made it, and he's with his dad. And today's his dad's birthday, so, like, it's kind of cool that he made it home for that,
sweet.
but he gonna be a cranky asshole tonight. I'll tell you that. I told his dad, I was like, you might want to let him go to bed early.
Yeah. He could dismiss him from the family activities tonight.
He actually is pretty good. Like, if he's tired, he'll go put himself to bed. He knows.
Yeah.
Like, if he's like, I need to go to sleep, he'll do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good. We made it.
Eventful week. Eventful ending of your
Yes,
week.
exactly. So, how was your week, Hunty?
It was great.
Good.
So yesterday I went and saw the Barbie. I went to see the Barbie movie.
Mm-hmm.
So freaking good.
Was it
Are you
good?
gonna go watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
I have another one that I will see first, but that will be the next one I see.
The trafficking one?
That's the one I really want to see.
I said something to Bradley about that movie last night whenever we were when we were watching the previews or whatever. And I was like, oh, we should go see that movie. Everyone that has seen it at work has said that it's good. It's scary, but it's good.
It's hot, heavy.
Yeah. And he was like, that's a QAnon movie.
Oh my God, that is driving me nuts. Like, I do get that the whole child trafficking thing was like linked up with the QAnon like conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a true story that has nothing to do with some weirdo on 4chan.
Right.
Know? So.
No, I need your pen.
Oh, like, what do you want? But yeah, so tell me about Barbie movie.
So it was really good. So it started out kind of like meh, kind of boring. I didn't love the like cheesy going to the real world thing, but something that I kept pointing out to Bradley, it drove me crazy.
Yeah.
So most movies I've learned use wigs, right?
Yes.
So like if someone has brown hair in real life and they're going to be blonde in the movie, most of the time they put a wig on.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan Gosling had his hair colored, which is fine. It looked great. I mean, not on him, but it didn't look good on him, but
it was done well.
It was done well. It was a great bleach job. Well, from like scene to scene in the movie, the continuity of his hair,
of his roots.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And you could see it.
Nuts.
It was like one scene, and then they're in Barbie Land, and then they're in the car going to the real world, and supposedly like 10 minutes later, but
really it's 2
really
weeks
it's like probably a week or two later because Ken has roots. And I pointed it out to Bradley. I was like,
no one would notice that but a hairstylist.
Did you notice that? And then there were several times in the movie where the blonde was not the same shade of blonde. Like sometimes it was really yellow. Sometimes it was like a really neutral, like pale yellow level 10. Sometimes it was like a level 9.5. It drove me nuts. It drove me up the wall. And you could tell that Margot Robbie had also had different hair colors through the movie. Like at some points she was more bleachy blonde, like heavily highlighted, probably like slices.
Yeah.
And then in some of them she was more dimensional, like baby lights.
Ugh. That would drive me nuts.
It did drive me nuts.
It's gonna drive
That's
me
the
nuts.
only thing that I had like beef about, was that the continuity of the hair was not it.
So I am a Ryan Gosling's fucking stan. Like, I love him. But the minute I saw a picture of his hair for the movie, I was like, ew, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I was like, I'm not going to see the movie because I don't like Ken's hair.
I'm also a stan for Ryan Gosling. He is not the man for this role.
See, that's kind of
He's
how
not
I
the
felt.
man for this. He's
Yeah.
too old.
Yeah.
And it shows. Like,
Really.
honey, when you put that in 8K
I mean,
on a TV
he's
screen.
fine.
Oh,
But I do see what
absolutely.
he is a man of a certain age.
Yeah.
Not old age, but of a certain age.
But I feel like it should be like one of those TikTok stars. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
Bryce Hall or I don't know, Logan Paul even.
Logan Paul's not hot enough for that. But I get what I'm picking up what you're putting down, like a young 25-year-old or something.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
isn't Margot Robbie really, if she's not really young,
No,
she
Margot
looks great.
Robbie is, I think, my age or older, actually.
So maybe they did it so that it was like not weird.
Yeah. And that's
Because she was pretty great for the role.
right.
But
You know who would have been good is Zac Efron back in the day. Like,
if he didn't just beef up for that one movie he did.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, why didn't they think of that?
I know. Well, and I think he had that facial reconstructive surgery too. You know,
That did make him look a lot different.
It changed his look. I mean, he's still attractive, but it did change his look a little bit.
He's more of like a Dwayne the Rock Johnson now. Like chiseled.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, and then I got asked to do a photo shoot with Fast Foils.
That's so cool.
So I'm really excited about it. I actually still don't really fully know exactly all of the details. I just know that I'm going to be there, and I need to bring several mini tools.
Lots and lots of tools. Yeah, I saw you looking for the different stuff.
So that's really, really exciting. We have a meeting tomorrow for that, and I get to see Jay and Amber and Ben. So I'm really excited.
Good. I'm excited for you. That's going to be fun. I wish I was involved in that.
I mean, if you want to come with me, you can. You're going to have to take off work.
I wish.
Oh, well, yeah, that being said, I have to, like, really freaking hustle this weekend. So I work
you're working tomorrow,
today.
aren't
I
you?
work tomorrow, which is Sunday in real life, not Friday.
Yeah.
But I'm only going in for one person, and I've only done her hair one time, but I do feel that it was easy. I don't know. We'll see. Something tells me that it was a color correction, but at the same time, I was like, I think that we got it fixed so that this time it's going to be easy.
Easy peasy.
But we'll find out tomorrow. And then I'm also working on Monday. I'm working a full day on Monday.
Oh, dang. Okay, well, I'll see you Monday.
Yeah.
Shoot.
And then I'm going to be driving to Atlanta. Yeah. Oh, and I get to do something really, really, really exciting on Monday that I don't know if I get to say.
Don't say it
out loud.
I think you should keep it as a secret.
I mean, I think I have to.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if you don't, I think you should.
You should until you sign anything.
Yes.
Yeah, so working all day, that exciting thing is at 6 p.m., so probably until 10 p.m., and then I'm going to drive to Atlanta right after that.
That's what we like to do. Drive
You know,
till 2 a.m.
I just really enjoy the fact that you don't have to spend another night in the hotel, and you save like $200 when you do that.
Exactly.
Bradley introduced me to this way of travel when we first got together. Like when we were poor, but we really wanted to go do stuff. We would leave at like midnight, 2 o'clock, get there in the morning so that we had all of that day that we didn't have to pay for the hotel room.
Yeah.
And then only stay one night and then drive back.
I mean, it's smart.
Vacation for like $60.
Cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay. So now the actual topics that we have.
Right. Okay, so we're going to touch on one thing that we touched on last week. I just want to mention it again. The little fundraiser for my cousin Emily. Like I said, she was in a really bad car accident and did have to have a couple of surgeries to get her back in the clear. And she is good, and she's recovering well, and she's at home, and everything is good there. But while she does have health insurance, she, is going to have to be off work for a while to recover and have some time while she's on her feet where she's not able to work. So, they're not asking for a lot, but just anything that can help her get her through the next couple of months without an income would be fantastic. So the link to the fundraiser will be in the description of the podcast /video/ wherever the heck you are look in the description. That's where it is. Also, I do have it in the bio of our TikTok. I believe it's on my Instagram.
It's on my
And it's on Hunter's Instagram.
It's on the Break Room Banter's Instagram.
Exactly. You can find it if you look. And, even $5 helps. It really does. Because it's going to be medical bills are, she's got health insurance, but there's a whole nother part to that, which is she can't work. She can't recover. She has to get a new vehicle, like all these things. So.
And none of that shit is cheap.
Exactly. So, yeah, we're glad that she's safe. She is home. She is doing good.
The last time that we talked about it, which is the episode came out last week for you guys, but it's been 2 weeks for us. At that point, she was not doing well.
She was still in critical care. Yeah.
Yeah. So she is home now.
She's home now, and I see her posting on Facebook, so I think she's probably laid up in bed recovering, trying to entertain herself. But yeah, like she will have to be off work for a while. And I mean, she had a spinal surgery. She broke a femur. Like, it's not small. It's not bumps, bruises, and scratches.
And even if you're not able to donate, if you could just screen record this portion of the episode, go back and share it on your social media. You don't even have to tag us, but share the link and spread this out as much as you can, just because you never know. It could be you, and anything you can do can help someone else.
Exactly. And that being said, thank you to the people that did share it for me, because the more eyes we can get on it, the better. And I don't know, honestly, I didn't check it today. I don't know if anybody's donated it or whatnot, but if you can't donate, if you could share, that would be great and just really help her family. I mean,
but if you can donate, still share.
Yes. You can do both. That's fine. But yeah, so I think that covers that. Just thank you, everybody that already did share, and to those of you in the future who will be sharing.
Beautiful.
We appreciate you. So on to our next topic.
Ooh, I'm excited
Hunter
for this one.
does not know about this, and I was literally yelling at the girls. I'm like, don't talk about it in front of Hunter. He doesn't know.
I love that everyone in the salon has gotten on the trend of if I'm in the room, Cassie went to say something, and she went, "Oh, I can't say something in front of you," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, everyone is keeping secrets with me."
It really is funny because it's I'm like, nope, I can't tell you. Go away. I'm trying to talk about this. No. Because we want our reaction to be genuine when we talk about it. But okay. Most people, except for the people living under a rock, have heard about the story of CARLEE Russell, who went missing last week. I think it was last Thursday.
Just to be clear, I have heard the story of CARLEE Russell. I know what happened to her. I do not know what has surfaced since the original thing.
Okay.
Right.
So I remember because I was doing Shay's hair, and we were I'm like, oh my God, did you hear about that? That's so crazy. For those of you that don't know, CARLEE Russell went missing last week. The last phone calls that had been made was one to 911 that said that she had reported seeing a toddler on the side of the road on a dark highway in Alabama. And then, so she called 911, reported it, and then she called a family member. I can't remember, cousin, sister, aunt, mom. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then they hear a single scream, and then the line it was still open, it was still on, but it was a single scream, and then she was gone. And she was missing for 2 days. And everybody's looking for her. There was somebody who came forward and offered a $25,000 reward. Her boyfriend got online and was just oh my God, please, thank you. Please find her, share, whatever. It's terrifying. It's super scary. Me and my client were talking about it. I'm like, oh my God, if I saw a toddler on the side of the road, I would freaking stop.
Yeah.
I would stop. That you could kidnap me so fast because I would stop. That's what I was thinking. I was just oh my God, was she trafficked? Was she this? Was she that? Where'd the kid come from? Where'd the kid go? Just so many questions. And so the cops show up to the location where she was. They found her car. They found her wig. They found her purse and her cell phone and some things, but no trace of her. So she shows up on Saturday, shows up at her parents' house, right? And the family called ambulance or 911 or like the hospital or whatever.
I just realized people are there's some people that aren't watching. My mouth was just agape. That's why she was
Yeah.
like, right?
Right.
That went to an empty response.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, not everyone's watching on YouTube.
Yeah. So she shows up. First responders come. They said that it was like a call of someone who was unresponsive but breathing. So, like, to me, that means when she showed up, she was in some sort of like catatonic state, sort of, right? So they get there. She does respond. She's answering questions. She goes to the hospital. I believe I heard that she refused a sexual assault kit, but I can't find an article to back that up. So that may or may not have just been a rumor. We don't know. We know how Erica's gullible. But she did show up. She did go to the hospital. She has returned home. Her boyfriend, who was all like, thank you, Jesus, like, thank you, Lord, for keeping my girlfriend safe, blah, 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 has since scrubbed every single drop of her off his page.
Excuse me?
Yes. So they have done some digging and found out that Miss CARLEE Russell had some very questionable internet searches and activity prior to her going missing. She searched the movie Taken. She searched, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? She searched, like, how do you get an Amber Alert? She bought a bunch of snacks at a Target before it all happened. And when the cops showed up, there was other stuff there and all her other stuff. But conveniently, the snacks were not there. And then at one point, I saw a video on TikTok, which I unfortunately forgot to save, but somebody had pulled the interstate, like, road cams, whatever, where she was and where it had been reported. And there's a video of her, and there had been, like, these flashing, like, hazard lights. So somebody went in and removed the flashing lights so that you could see better. There's no toddler anywhere. And you can very clearly see her go from the driver's side of a car to the passenger side and open the door. It's Bradley.
So if you hear dogs, it's because Bradley got home. Sorry for the interruption. So she went to the passenger side.
Yeah, so that was kind of suspicious before she showed up, right? So again, another rumor, because they haven't confirmed anything. They've done some investigating. They've done some digging. For her, they said out of respect for her family and her, they are releasing, they're keeping some things private, but they did release because obviously the whole country was like, oh my God, where is this girl? You know? And so they released that, what their findings about her searches. But basically, there was a commentary on it, and they had said that she was like attempting to, like, maybe start a new life, and then there was like this attempt to possibly, like, make her boyfriend jealous or like worry about her, I don't know, maybe to, like, make her propose or him propose. I'm not really sure. It was people talking about possibilities, you know. Either way, it's fishy and it pisses me off. And unless this girl has, like, a mental health issue, like
That's messed up.
a little bit possibly cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs or something, or like schizophrenia or something like that, I feel like she deserves to go to jail.
Isn't it, like, illegal to falsify a police report?
Well, she never filed a police report on herself, so that's what I'm not really sure. How do you go about that? But I would,
because morally, you're like,
yeah,
prison.
I would assume that faking your own, like, faking your own kidnapping is like falsifying evidence.
Right.
Because technically there was no
tampering
toddler.
of the crime
there
scene.
was no toddler.
Right.
That was fake. So I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know if there's going to be more details that come out, but homegirl faked that shit. And that's not cool, because everybody was real worried for her. You know?
That is nuts.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Barring any sort of, like, serious mental health issue, that's jail time.
Yeah.
That better be jail time, you know? Then I saw some screenshots.
I mean, not for, like, ever, but a while. You need to learn a lesson.
She needs a spanking, not a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much, you know? I saw some thing on TikTok that was, of course, like really ridiculous, but it was screenshots of possibly faked from her Facebook page where she was trying to say that the government made her do it. She was saying, they made me do it. They made me do it. They won't let me say this. They won't let me say that. So I'm like, are these real? Or is that evidence that she is
Cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs.
right?
Cocoa for
So
Cuckoo. Whatever.
something's puffing and it's probably cocoa or cuckoo. But yeah, so that's the drums on that.
Dang. Okay. Well, so the next thing we have is that according to Erica, there were 10 whales that washed ashore in the state of California. However, it was really 55 whales that washed ashore in Scotland.
It was like a mass beaching.
Yes.
What did they call it?
Stranding.
Stranding.
Yeah,
Yes,
so it's
largest stranding.
They said it's the largest stranding of whales in history.
Yeah.
Which is insane to me.
Right, and they don't know what caused it.
Yeah, and only 5 of the 55 survived.
Which is really, yeah, they said that when they arrived, they had been beached for so long that most of them had to be euthanized.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
And could you think about, like, how much euthanization medication it would take to euthanize a whale?
Well, they weren't, like, blue whales or anything. They were a smaller stature of whale, but they're still a whale bigger than a human.
Oh, yeah.
You
like,
know? Yeah.
And they were the ones with the teeth. I don't know. I think it's insane. What would cause... The video wasn't...
It wasn't very
clear on, like, what causes that. Because I feel like whales wash ashore frequently,
they do.
right?
It does happen.
So maybe they were all taking little naps and they were just washed away.
Maybe, I mean, my brain goes to warm ocean temperatures.
But
because it is a thing where whales, like, sometimes they do intentionally beach themselves when something is wrong with them. Like, they're kind of trying to
kill themselves,
unalive themselves. And so it doesn't say anything about that in this article. So this is pure speculation here.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes me wonder if it's not that, or if maybe there wasn't, like, an illness that they all may have caught, or
they were poisoned.
Because 55 is a lot.
That's a big number.
That's a big number.
Well, they said that these types of whales, if they do wash ashore like that, most of the time it is like I forgot what they called this, a school of whales, but they said that most of the time it's more than one.
Pod.
A pod, yeah. But this is just the biggest one.
Yeah.
That's ever happened.
55 is a lot of freaking whales.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that pods of whales got that big in the wild. That's why it made me think, like, maybe...
I don't know anything about whales.
Me neither, other than Free Willy is a really sad movie from back in the day.
Yes, and I know that, like, SeaWorld is bad.
SeaWorld is naughty.
They're bad people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly sure why, but I just know that
because the way that they treat the animals,
right.
Yeah.
But, like, we shouldn't be able to see those creatures anyway. In person, you know what I mean?
I struggle with, like, zoos and aquariums, like, morally, because
some
they don't
zoos
deserve that. But some zoos are like animals
rehabilitation
that can't survive in the wild on
and
their
that,
own,
yeah,
you know, yeah, rehabbing, and, like, if they were in the wild, they would die.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, speaking of Free Willy, Oregon Coast Aquarium was home to Keiko, the whale that was in Free Willy, and he was eventually let back into the wild, and he lived for a few more years in the wild, and he did pass away a few years ago or whatever. But he was at the Oregon Coast Aquarium, like, performing and available for viewing for at least 10 years after the movie was filmed. Yeah.
So, but he's fine. Like, he survived in the wild after that.
He survived in the wild after that, yeah.
Well, probably because he was from the wild.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just trained him a little bit.
Well, and that was the thing. He had been captured, and, like, you know, orcas have that big fin on top.
Mm-hmm.
And in the movie, you can see it when it hunches over. That's a sign that they're in stress. And as he was released into the wild over time, it started to come back up a little bit more.
Aww.
But it still was, like, bleep, a little hooky when he died. So
Sad
I know it
day.
was sad. I did see him in person, and now I'm like, oh, you're evil, Erica. You paid money to see that whale in captivity.
But he was being
He was
rehabbed.
being rehabbed, but yeah. So we don't know what caused these whales to wash up on the ocean, but my brain goes to everything is so fucking hot right now. I'm sure the ocean's
Yeah,
hotter than normal, you know.
it's possible.
And if whales are like their bodies are made to go to cooler water, not warmer water most of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's hard to say. But
That's crazy.
next
Crazy
thing
girl.
on the agenda, Miss Gigi Hadid.
This is the stupidest
I
thing I've
know.
ever heard.
She was arrested in the Cayman Islands for possession of marijuana and paraphernalia, I believe.
Yeah.
And the
The article says utensils to partake in the marijuanas.
that is hilarious. What's funny, the funniest part about this is that ganja, as they refer to it in the article, is legal in the Cayman Islands. However, it is not legal to bring your own. It is not BYO cannabis. It is.
I'm wondering if, like, because you know that they flew in private.
Yeah, so they checked her in at customs, it said.
Right. So I'm wondering if she was just, like, smoking before she went to the airport, put it in her bag, and forgot.
I mean, that is possible.
Okay, well, anyway, yeah, Gigi Hadid was arrested. She pled guilty. She paid $1,000.
Yeah.
And there's no
It was
conviction.
her and her friend.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It was her and her friend. I just think that it's hilarious.
It's
Like, why is this a story?
well, and if you're gonna like,
Also, don't be stupid.
yeah,
You're so rich.
which is she probably was like, meh, what's $1,000?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Anyhoozle. Let's hit this last one real quick because I was gonna say we could skip it, but we gotta hit this.
Okay, it's too funny. So first of all, you have to have the backstory. So for those of you who don't know, there is this
I'm
thing
gonna die.
called 15-minute cities. Okay, they're like urban city planning for the future, where basically everything will be in a range of 15 minutes. Their like motto for it is "You will own nothing and you will be happy." Right. So I saw this video on TikTok a while back where this lady was like, initially thought it was in New York because I couldn't remember. But then I found the video and it was in LA. And it's this lady and she's walking on the street, walking her dog. And she's like, you guys, I'm so fucking freaked out right now. Like, look at this. Look at this. And it's talking about America's first fully underground urban living or whatever. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so freaked out. This is like dystopian future. Like, is this real? Somebody tell me, is this real? And I go and I tell Hunter, and I'm like, now they're making them underground and blah, blah, blah. And I saw this video. And he thinks I'm nuts all the time anyways already. So it popped up again on my For You page because initially I didn't save it, didn't dig into it, didn't research it. It was just like, oh my God, I saw this thing, you know? And I was open about the fact that I didn't confirm it. But, y'all, there's a new show on like Amazon or something, and it's called Silo, and it is it is dystopian in the future where these people live in an underground, like, society, I guess. I don't know.
And they own
what else.
nothing and they are
Community,
happy.
And they own nothing and they're like locked in because they're told that like outside is deadly. Like there was some sort of, chemical warfare or whatever, and they can't go outside. And one person goes out to like clean the camera. Y'all, it was an ad for this show. And it was like along this whole chain link fence, right? And so the lady who posted the original video, I found the video. I went to her page. She updated it and she was like, y'all, I was tripping. I thought this was real. It's just for this show Silo, blah, 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 blah.
I'm dead.
And the funniest part about it is I think it was like 2 nights before that I saw an ad for the show. Like I saw a commercial for it, where they're like talking about it, and I was like, oh damn, that's so fucking scary, right? Science fiction, obviously.
But to Erica, it was
But
so very
it was
real.
so real.
She was like, they're going to pop up everywhere. They're going to build them under the ocean. I bet in Oregon, they've already started it. They've already started it in Oregon. It's under the ocean. They're digging under the ocean and building there. And they're all going to live there. And you can never leave.
That's where the guys from the submersible went, according to Hunter.
According to Erica.
My camera is not working.
Oh, well, we're going to close out anyway. I do want to hit on one more thing
Okay.
before we fully go. Say goodbye to Erica's camera, but we have an update for our hair aid episode with Alana.
Mm-hmm.
We asked like how you could donate tools and anything like that that you might have for her. We have a listener who was inspired by the episode and immediately went and scheduled a trip to Bali with hair aid. So we have someone that will be going, and she messaged me and said that if we have any tools, we can send them to her.
Okay.
So if you are interested, send us a DM. And if there's enough interest, maybe we set up a P.O. box or something so that we can get all of those tools sent to Bali with hair aid. So if you are able or have a plethora of things that you are able to donate, they're looking for clips, combs, white capes in particular, but any cape will work, and shears.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that until just now.
Well, it's on the docket.
Oh.
But it's the last thing on the docket. It's the very last thing under iced tea. Anyway, if you want to follow us on our social media journeys, I am at Herrick's Hunter on all the things.
I am Erica the Redhead on all the things.
Our podcast is at Break Room Banter Pod on all the things. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts. And until next week, remember...
You always have a seat at our table.
Bye.
Bye.